Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it.
Angel Reese stepped into the spotlight like she was expecting a red carpet, only to find it rolled up and packed away with the rest of her failed marketing props. The best part? She truly believed she could replicate Caitlin Clark's impact. Not through talent, not through real draw, but by standing close enough to greatness and hoping some of it rubbed off.
We shall never know peace, at least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game was supposed to be Angel Reese's big moment. She had it all lined up: debut her Reebok signature shoe, launch her I'm in Your City campaign, and do it all in Caitlin Clark's hometown of Indianapolis. She expected record-breaking views and shoe sales. What she got instead was a harsh lesson. You can't manufacture star power, and building your brand off someone else's spotlight is a fast track to failure.
Angel, me bound, prayer, Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room: Angel Reese's signature Reebok shoe. The Angel Reese one, dropped in two colorways, Diamond Dust and Maybounds, was hyped as the next big thing in women's basketball footwear. Reebok and Reese went all in, launching Maybounds right around the All-Star Game for maximum exposure. The problem? That exposure came at exactly the wrong time.
It's one of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
Reese built her entire marketing play on one critical miscalculation: that Caitlin Clark's presence at the All-Star Game would drive massive viewership, and by extension, shoe sales. She wasn't trying to outplay Clark or craft her own compelling story. She just hoped being in the same arena when Clark lit up the scoreboard would be enough to ride the wave.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from it.
But here's where it gets delicious. Clark got injured. A groin strain just days before the All-Star Game meant the league's biggest draw, the one player who could turn a Tuesday night game in Wisconsin into must-see TV, would be sidelined, sitting on the bench in street clothes.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only can draw that. So, and this is with all the stars. Remember, guys.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe. The numbers don't lie. And the story they tell is more brutal than any scripted drama. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, featuring Caitlin Clark, drew a record 3.44 million viewers. It wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment. Now jump to 2025. With Clark's sideline, viewership crashed to 2.19 million, a 36% drop. But here's the kicker. That drop happened in Clark's own hometown, during an event built entirely to capitalize on her star power. And without her on the court, the lights just didn't shine as bright.
WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
Angel Reese watched her marketing plan collapse in real time. The tickets, once hyped as premium, dropped 48% in value the moment Clark was ruled out, falling from $121 to $64. Even the resale market couldn't save her. Fans weren't paying top dollar to watch an all-star game without the league's biggest draw. Nothing summed up the tone-deafness of Reese's strategy more than her I'm in your city campaign. The bold move to claim territory in Indianapolis, Caitlin Clark's hometown, while Clark was sidelined and couldn't even play.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
The campaign rolled out billboards, social media blasts, and messaging built around territorial dominance. Reese posted videos captioned, "I'm in your city," and promo clips titled, "Walk in your trap. Take over your trap." The problem? When you're taking over someone's city and that someone isn't even playing, it just comes off as opportunistic and desperate. Fans saw right through it. Social media lit up with criticism. One user tweeted, "She can't even promote her own shoe without using Caitlin Clark." Another added, "There are more photographers than fans, lol." The whole campaign felt like someone trying to claim a win by default, like showing up to a race after your rival got injured, then throwing a victory parade.
You can barely dribble, you miss layups on purpose, and they record them as rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end.
Angel Reese had the spotlight. Indianapolis, her shoe launch, billboards, and a full social media push. The All-Star Game was in her city for the weekend. And still, barely anyone cared. The WNBA tried to spin the numbers, comparing 2025's viewership to 2023's 850,000, conveniently skipping the 3.44 million that tuned in for Clark in 2024. But the drop was obvious. Without Clark, interest tanked. Even Friday's three-point contest and skills challenge drew 1.32 million viewers, a 90% jump from last year. Not because of Reese. Because people still hope to see Caitlin Clark, even if just in passing.
Fans sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is...
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel, me bound, pray up Reese. Last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious CC with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna